We'll be doing some work on the old truck today, getting it ready for sale. Show you guys a quick before and after. This is first gen Tundra, super bad vehicle. This thing was awesome. My dream truck at the time. Currently without a topper. We're gonna load the topper up today, look at some other things. We got some mining stuff. But as you can see, look at the ground clearance under this vehicle. It is just massive. This truck comes stock with 12.1 inches of ground clearance, which is phenomenal. So we got a little over 12 inches here in the front. This is what I'm gonna be trying to match on my new Tacoma. Every year in Leadville, we have boom days celebrating mining history of this here town. All these holes are drilled during a competition. They run a single jack, bzah, bzah, bzah. These are from all the years past. This dowel is stuck in there. They'd stick that in there to measure the depth to make sure you went in deep enough. Check out this crazy boulder. For size reference, guys, I'm 6 foot. This thing's an easy 7.5 feet tall. You can see all these rocks are out here along Highway 24. Got a whole bunch of them. Mount Elbert in the back, some old mining equipment. This whole area is the reason this little town here is called Smelter Town. Black, dark earth, that's all slag from melting rock from the mines up in those hills just back there. Well, this is kind of cool. I've never looked at these boulders very closely. It appears that some of them are actual ore up from Climax. Look at all that iron pyrite in here in this quartz stringer, and this yellow is showing a little bit of sulfides, and this yellow in the quartz is the sulfides leaching out into it. That is pretty darn cool. So they're actually drilling real ore. Wow, check this one out. You guys can stop here at the side of the road and check these out anytime you want. But yes, this is a Vuggy sulfide ore also. This here boulder's got to be about 10 ton. There could be some really good gold in there. Check out this vein of pyrite. That is wild. I've never seen this here. And we got pyrite eroding out of it. Check out all that glittery fool's gold pyrite. Pretty wild. Here's some of the old smelter works. I believe that's a giant old head frame, but not from here. They took it up the mountain, brought it down here. Some old relics, pink boulders. Here's that black slag you can see. This little creek right here is the famous and infamous California Gulch. California Gulch was one of the first big gold strikes in Leadville. Super, super crazy rich. They named it California Gulch because that one gulch was said to contain as much gold as all of California. You can see the giant hoist drum and cables running all the way up there, and this head frame would essentially pull ore in ore buckets or carts or elevators, skips up to the top, dump it out at the front of the mine. This boulder here, you can see a block of rock fell off, and this bracing, this is the same stuff they use in mines today. And the reason they put this one in here, looks like they bolted it here on the crack. And actually drilling that bolt might have created that crack, but it's on this side. The whole idea of these braces and mines and addered entrances is to help hold the rock face together so it doesn't fall apart. Self-reliance is very important in this life. You got to be able to self-rescue, figure things out, and that's part of the reason why my truck is seriously an integral tool and part of my life. This truck's now all clean. I cleared out all my junk. With that, I don't have any USB adapter ports to charge any batteries. However, check this thing out. We're gonna use this here on the Bobcat also today. I had to move some stuff over from my new truck so I can work on what I need to work on today. Right here we got a battery jumper pack. This is the Hulkman 100. This thing is super bad. It's gonna be able to jump my truck, the Bobcat, tools, big equipment, whatever. I'll have a link for this below, but right now we're gonna use it as a battery bank. We got USB charging ports. Load up my batteries. Let's turn it on and see if we got any juice. This has been sitting in my truck for almost a year now. I haven't charged it. Let's see what we got. 42%, look at that. So it kicked on And sure enough, we're charging. All right. If I wouldn't have had this self-jumper booster in my truck, I wouldn't be able to charge in these modern devices. Here you can see all the sugar and the water dissolved, and now we got some nice 50-50, a little bit heavier sugar water, and we're gonna feed it to our bees. I'll show you guys one hive. We got 4 more, and the reason we're adding this is we're coming into winter, and the bees need, I don't know, like 40 pounds worth of honey stores to survive the winter. Oh no, I thought I just saw some kind of bigger or wasp flying in. We don't have a whole lot of activity. It's a little concerning. Hopefully we didn't get robbed. There we go. Those are our honeybees. Hopefully everything's okay. They're just starting to go a little bit dormant. We're well below freezing overnight now. Seeded somewhere around 20 to 30 acres. These cages we've set up to start seed so the deer and elk don't come in here and browse everything off. And you can see we're propagating seed ourselves here now. Gone to seed, we should actually collect all these right now. The bees are still actively foraging. They're getting some pollen and possibly some nectar out of these flowers that are still blooming. We've planted plants that'll bloom as late into the season as possible. So every time of year, we have good, healthy forage for our bees. Let's take a quick look. Yeah, totally dry. So this hive is doing phenomenal for us. This top, these are the feeders. This is where I'll add the sugar water. You can see we got some ants crawling in here, and here the water evaporated, leaving crystalline sugar behind. You can flip these over for wet feeding or dry feeding. I see some bees crawling around up here. So this is where we're gonna pour the sugar water. And we're gonna fill this halfway and fill the next one halfway, cover it back up. We'll have some really good easy eating before winter here. And the hope is that they take that sugar water, turn it into honey, pack it into combs. That way they'll be able to access those stores and reserves throughout the winter. They'll be able to eat the sugar. The bees consume that, eat that, so that they can stay warm and alive throughout the winter. The way this works is the bees congregate around the queen somewhere down in the hive, and they create a giant ball mass around the queen. The whole hive just sits there and vibrates. Bzzz. And doing so burns a lot of calories. That's why they need the sugar. They're vibrating, bzzz, getting warm, providing heat, and that heat is warming up the beehive. And that is essentially how they keep the beehive warm throughout the winter. Last time I looked was a couple weeks ago. Everything was good, but a lot can change, especially here towards the end of the season. Cover that up. This side. See what we got going on. I'm not seeing a whole lot of wax and debris, which is a very good sign. If we would have been robbed, there'd be all kinds of wax, debris, and junk down here. All I'm seeing is a little bit of pollen, a little bit of wax, probably some propolis, and bee parts. We got abdomens, legs, feet, antennae, and you name it. This is also where we look for varroa mites. Peek in here and see if we can see any action. Oh yeah, we're full of bees. Look at that. Full of bees. If that's full, they're packing that shut, getting ready for winter. Oh heck, that's a new development. They completely packed that entrance shut, either due to robbing, cold, some critter poked through here trying to get in. So the bees defended themselves and packed closed with propolis and wax that inner hole. Interesting. So now that it's getting colder, we don't have that much activity. I'm gonna lower these down. That way it's easier for the hive to protect itself. Hop in here and see if she starts. Okay, I'm not even gonna glow plug it to try to preserve battery power. Let's see if we got anything. Totally dead. Nothing. Darn it, I really gotta get a solar panel on this thing. All right, we're gonna unplug the camera batteries. We're at 41%, so something's happening here. Hopefully that's enough juice to jump the bobcat. Disconnect that. Now we're gonna attach the jumper cables. Open up the hatch. See if we got any rats. Oh, we got something living back there. We're gonna have to reset the trap here. And on this side's the battery. Okay, we got the battery jump starter hooked up, 41%. Hopefully it's got enough juice. The battery was so dead, nothing was showing up here. And if that happens, what you have to do is you gotta hold the power button and the other button down simultaneously for about 3 to 5 seconds. Here we go again. Oh my God, go! Woo-hoo-hoo! Woo-hoo-hoo! Yeah! Oh yeah, baby! Oh my gosh, is that freaking amazing? We're at 35%! Now we're gonna hook our USB charging back up. I'm telling you guys, you need to get yourselves one of these. To see the new Tacoma build and follow the journey, watch the video right here.